What's up, YouTube? Agent Zero here. Today I got a good one. I'm going to compare the Luna's Howl versus the Trust. Now, a few months ago, maybe a little bit more than a few months, this would have been no comparison. Luna's Howl would have blown the Trust out the water, no doubt. However, Bungie decided that the Luna's Howl was overpowered, and perhaps it was. But they went in and nerfed the Luna's Howl to where it kind of brought it back down to reality. Originally, we were howling at the moon. Now we're kind of on the earth, maybe howling during the middle of the day. I don't know, but right now these guns are actually very similar in the sense of they're not very overpowered. Now, the Luna's Howl is a pinnacle weapon. Y'all are going to have to grind for it if you really want it. You can get that quest, go to Shaxx. I do have a video on that, so go check that out. It's Luna's Howl gameplay and lore video, and that's going to help you figure out how to get the Luna's Howl and also go into some of the background. But without any more interruptions about that video, let's talk about these two guns compared to each other. So first, the Luna's Howl, again, is a pinnacle weapon. What you see is what you get. The roll is static. You can't get a random roll on this gun. You either like it or you don't like it. So you have that polygonal rifling, you have drop mag, you have Zen moment, and you have Magnificent Howl. Magnificent Howl is the bread and butter. However, the nerf to this was significant enough that dropped Luna's Howl down a peg. Rapidly landing 2 precision shots increases the next shot's body damage and range for a short duration. And that change from pretty much any damage to body damage really did a number on Luna's Howl. Now in PvP, you're not gonna see, I guess, too much of a problem. It really depends on how you strategized with your gun. If you're shooting at the same target, you go one shot, headshot, second shot, headshot, that third shot's going to be a kill. So whether you get that next headshot or you get a body shot because you have that increased damage, the third shot's going to be a kill. So Luna's Howl does have a faster time to kill than the Trust does. I kind of call Magnificent Howl in PvP a backup plan. You're really always aiming for those precision shots, but if for whatever reason you miss, maybe the opponent has a nice little juke step, you hit that body, you get in that third shot kill if your first 2 were precision hits. However, we move over to the Trust. Now the Trust you could get random rolls on, and you can actually get some fantastic rolls. My favorite Trust that I've gotten, and I've gotten a bunch of different Trusts, has Dragonfly and Explosive Payload. Now that's awesome. To be honest, that is just an awesome roll in my opinion. But let's take a look at the Trust in more depth. I said you could get Drop Mag and Zen Moment on Luna's Howl. That's a static roll. Well, guess what? You can also get those 2 on the Trust. So if you want either of those 2, you don't have to go to Luna's Howl to get it. However, besides the 2 perks that I just mentioned that I have on my favorite Trust, Explosive Payload and Dragonfly, you can also get perks such as Outlaw. You can get Rampage. You get Rapid Hit. You get Opening Shot. You get Snapshot Sights. You get Hipfire Grip. And you can get Triple Tap. There are a bunch of different perks that you could get on the Trust that you are unable to get on Luna's Howl. That's just something to note. If you really love the perks on Luna's Howl, then go for Luna's Howl. But really the only perk that makes Luna's Howl different from the Trust is Magnificent Howl. And with that kind of nerf to Magnificent Howl, where it has to be a body shot, it really doesn't mean much. Again, I think of it as a backup plan. But for PvE, I mean, not PvE. We ain't talking about PvE yet. We're talking about PvP. For PvP, the feel of these guns, Luna's Howl, in my opinion, takes it. I think Luna's Howl has a nice feel. makes getting precision shots really easy, and plus, again, is a quicker time to kill, and that's what we're looking for in PvP. Now, it sucks that really none of the perks matter in my opinion. Drop mag to somewhat definitely helps out, but if you really want that, you can get that on the Trust. My personal opinion, that Luna's Howl, just for the feel of things, I would go with that in PvP. Something I forgot to mention earlier, but I do want to mention it now. I'm comparing these guns on console. That is very crucial. If you're playing on PC, the feel of Luna's Howl is going to be completely different from what I've heard. I've watched a lot of videos, looked at a lot of comments. People say that on PC, Luna's Howl right now is not very good. So I want to make that distinction. If you're on console, that's where I'm comparing them. But we talked about PvP. Let's talk about the stats and then get into PvE. The stats are actually pretty similar. Luna's Howl does a little bit more damage. We kind of talked about that. It definitely has more range. Stability, actually pretty close to each other. Handling, right on top of each other. Reload speed, Luna's Howl a little bit faster, and then you add drop mag and it's even more faster unless you get drop mag on the Trust. Rounds per minute, we know that the Trust has that. Luna's Howl was nerfed down from 180 to 150. Magazine size, Luna's Howl's a little bit better. The hidden stat that I do love to talk about is aim assistance. They're actually right on top of each other as well, so it's not much of a difference there. Now let's talk about PvE. The nerf to Luna's Howl. Oh my god, the nerf to Luna's Howl. It made it so bad in PvE, it ain't even funny. Now, the gun still feels good. You can shoot it all day long, it's going to feel great. You're going to be able to get those precision shots. But if you're not getting that added damage from that third precision shot, what's the use of Magnificent Howl? You literally got a gun where one of the perks doesn't mean anything. You can shoot at Thrall, you can shoot at a boss. You have a perk that does absolutely nothing for you. The Trust, on the other hand, Lord have mercy, the Trust, when those Thrall are running down my throat, breathing down my neck. The Trust, I trust it with all my life. With my explosive payload and Dragonfly, I am knocking out hordes of Thrall like it's no man's business. Like it's my job to take out Thrall. Dragonfly is fantastic to clear out those Thrall, and explosive payload doesn't hurt either. I think y'all know which gun I'm taking in PvE, but if you didn't get the memo, I'm taking the Trust in PvE. So we have a tight race. We got Luna's Howl, which is, in my opinion, on console, a little bit better than the Trust in PvP. The Trust is leagues, not even in the same league. The Trust is in the NBA, while the Luna's Howl is in the D-League when it comes to PvE. With that being said, overall, which of these guns do I give an advantage to? Well, when I take into consideration grinding for these guns, the Trust, it's a Gambit gun. Going to Gambit, you have a chance to get it randomly dropped. Complete Gambit bounties, you have a chance to get it randomly dropped. Luna's Howl you have to grind for, and it is a long grind. It can take you forever to grind for this gun because you have to go into the competitive playlist. I have a video about how you can get Luna's Howl. Go check that out. It's the Luna's Howl gameplay and lore video. I also talk about how to get it, but it can take a very long time to get Luna's Howl. The Trust, again, pretty easy gun to get. Just keep grinding in Gambit, and with some of the bounties and games that Bungie makes us do in Gambit, should be pretty easy for y'all to get this gun dropped. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get the perfect roll dropped right away, but it is pretty easy to get the Trust dropped. Right now, if I'm picking today, I'm probably going to take the Trust. I hate to say this because the grind for Luna's Howl was just insane. However, I did use the trust to get the Luna's Howl. And the trust is just easier to get, by far better in PvE right now. But again, take a look at when you're watching this video. I'm making this video on August 16th, 2019. There could be a buff to Luna's Howl in the future. I know a lot of people are complaining about the nerf. So this video is only valid if Bungie does not go back in and buff Luna's Howl. I think they're going to. In my opinion, they're going to, and they should. It's a pinnacle weapon and it needs to be a little bit better than it is. I don't care if they make it better in PvP, but they need to make it better in PvE. That's just my opinion though. Y'all can let me know what you think about that in the comments section. Which one of these guns do you prefer? Are you pretty mad that Luna's Howl takes so much to grind for, yet they decide to nerf it to make it really not great in PvP? I mean, it's good in PvP, but awful in PvE. Let me know what you think in the comments section. If you did enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more Destiny 2 content. I will be back with a lot more content in the near future. So, subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Well, till next time. Peace.